Just hit a button, Morty. Give me a beat.
Oh man, okay, alright,
How Frank Lampard defeated Pep Guardiola's false 9 system. Chelsea 2, Manchester City 1, a tactical analysis. So going into the game, Lampard set up his side in a 4-5-1 shape with Kepa in goal, Rudiger and Christensen as the centre-backs, Azpilicueta and Marcos Alonso the full-backs, with Kante playing as the deepest midfielder with Barkley and Mount ahead of him, Pulisic on the left of the attack, Willian on the right and Giroud as a lone striker. Guardiola used his usual 4-3-3 shape with Edison in goal, Laporte and Fernandinho the centre-backs, Walker and Mendy the full-backs with Rodri as the deepest midfielder and Kevin De Bruyne and Gundogan ahead of him, Sterling as a left winger, Mahrez on the right and Bernardo Silva played as a false 9. So before I get into the analysis, make sure you subscribe to the channel and click the bell to turn on notifications, and after this video, check out some of my other videos like my analysis of Manchester United's games against Tottenham and Sheffield United, as well as the City Arsenal game from last week as well, which will all be linked in the description below. So from the start of the game, both sides looked to engage in an aggressive high press from the other's build-up, with City pressing Chelsea using a narrow front three, with Mahrez and Sterling pressing the centre-backs. Bernardo Silva was therefore simultaneously pressing Kepa and cutting off the passing lane into Kante. Rodri would also push up ahead of De Bruyne and Gundogan to apply pressure to Kante, who was playing in that deeper midfield role. Chelsea also used a similar man-to-man pressing tactic, with Barkley pushing up onto Rodri from City's build-up in an attempt to stop City being able to work the ball through the centre of the pitch. Chelsea looked to force the ball wide rather than allowing City to play passes into central midfield, and as you can see here, the Chelsea midfield pushed up relatively high to stop City being able to move out of their defensive third easily. When City had established possession in the middle third, Chelsea did a great job of stopping them being able to work the ball into the half spaces by keeping a compact shape, with Giroud stopping the pass into Rodri. The Chelsea midfield three wouldn't fall into the trap of dropping deep to man-mark the City players in the half spaces. Instead, they retained a high position and would be positionally aware in order to cut off the passing lane into these players. Lampard also showed he's tactically astute, as rather than taking the easy option of having the midfield retain their positions when City have the ball in these areas, Barkley was instructed to move out of the midfield line to stop Laporte being able to move the ball forward, which was key to stopping City getting into the final third, and was something that Sheffield United failed to do against Manchester United, and you can see how United took advantage of this by watching my analysis of the game, which will be linked in the description below. With Chelsea sitting in a narrow, compact defensive shape, City struggled to work the ball through the centre of the pitch, as they usually do, but this did mean they had space on the flanks to exploit. Usually when the ball goes out wide to Mahrez or Sterling, you'll see De Bruyne or Bernardo Silva making an underlapping run, in between the space created between the fullback and the centre-back. However, Lampard was well equipped to deal with this, as when this situation came about, Rudiger and Christensen were able to quickly move out into the channels to stop the likes of De Bruyne being able to get space in these dangerous areas. Because Pep used a false 9 of Bernardo Silva, who was dropping quite deep for a centre forward, City didn't have anyone in the centre forward position to take advantage of the Chelsea centre backs moving out into the channel. However, the one area where City did have a lot of joy was down the left flank, with Mendy overlapping Sterling and being able to put in a few dangerous low crosses across the box. But once again, without Jesus or Aguero, City didn't have a player to make this sort of run to meet this chance. I thought Pep should have looked to target Marcos Alonso more often, with Walker and Mahrez doubling up against him. However, Pep used Walker as an inverted fullback, coming into central midfield positions when City had the ball in Chelsea's half, and I think Pep did this to create an overload in the centre of the pitch, potentially allowing City to work the ball into the half spaces, when instead Pep should have focused on targeting the right flank, as Mendy showcased on the left. Pep's press was also not as effective as it usually is. I thought certainly within the first 30 minutes they didn't get close enough to Kante when he received the ball, who seemed like the perfect target for a trigger press, as would be seen in the second half. However, another reason was Rudiger's passing was top class. This is an example as City have penned Chelsea inside their defensive third, and when the ball goes back to Rudiger, he has no clear passing options. Most centre-backs would have resorted to blasting the ball up the pitch and conceding possession. However, Rudiger with his weaker left foot simply plays the ball over the top of the City press into Willian, who's able to lay the ball off for Alonso, who then plays the ball into Giroud, which enables Chelsea to retain the ball in City's half and launch an attack. This shows how important a ball-playing centre-back is in the modern game, as firstly it stopped Chelsea from losing the ball in a dangerous position, and secondly allowed them to launch an attack with one ball from the back. Despite this, Kepa showed why Pep's press can be effective, as when the ball was played back to him, he failed with an attempted lofted pass over Mahrez, which gave City possession in Chelsea's defensive third, showcasing Kepa's tendency to make a mistake at any time, which has certainly hampered his early Chelsea career so far. With Giroud dropping deep, it was important that Mount and Barkley made off the ball runs in behind the City back line, and here's a prime example, as rather than Barkley standing in the half space looking to receive the ball, he instead makes a run in behind Fernandinho and Lampard, which helps Chelsea progress the ball into the box. Despite this being a game of tactical chess for the first half, the opening goal didn't come from a piece of tactical genius, instead it came from a mistake. Mendy and Gundogan were caught fucking around with the ball after it came out from a corner, which handed Pulisic the ball, and instead of standing his ground and holding up the Chelsea player, Mendy made another fuck up by diving in ridiculously, allowing Pulisic to run through on goal and finish the one-on-one excellently by passing the ball into the far corner. Going into the second half, the tactical pattern of the game didn't change significantly. Chelsea were still confronting City centre-backs high up the pitch and stopping them being able to pen Chelsea back into their own half. With the game not changing much, Pep made a few tactical changes, shifting Gundogan deep into Rodri's position and bringing on Gabriel Jesus, which gave City more of a focal point than had been there with Bernardo Silva. City were able to take advantage of a lapse in concentration from the Chelsea midfield as Mahrez was able to receive the ball in behind Kante, leading to a foul which gave City a free kick from where Kevin De Bruyne was able to knuckleball the ball into the top corner. City nearly caught Chelsea out again soon after a swift counter-attack being started by an early Edison throw into Kevin De Bruyne, who shifted it out to Mahrez, whose pass in behind gave Sterling a one-on-one, which his shot trickled onto the post and squandered a good opportunity for City. Manchester City did control large parts of the second half as their press became more effective as they began to pressurise Kante, which exposed his biggest weakness, which is his passing when under pressure, as he made a few poor passes which allowed City to win the ball back in the Chelsea defensive third and launch attacks from these dangerous positions. Lampard brought in Abraham at the correct time, as with Chelsea dropping off slightly and City pushing up the field, there was space to exploit in behind Fernandinho, which Pulisic nearly did after an aimless long ball was somehow allowed to bounce through in behind the back line. Pulisic's pace caused problems for Fernandinho and somehow the ball stayed out of the net after the American rounded Edison and Walker made a last ditch clearance. Chelsea did get the winner after they broke quickly with Willian down the right and Abraham's shot nearly went in before a melee in the box led to Fernandinho's handball sending off and Willian's penalty conversion. From then on it was clear that City couldn't stop the Premier League heading to Anfield, and Lampard's compact, well-disciplined 4-5-1 system showcased how to stop City having joy in the half spaces, as they so often do, but also why this tactic is significantly more effective than the ultra-conservative Mourinho system, which was deployed against Manchester United and which has severely hampered Tottenham in big games this season. And if you are interested in that, you can find my analysis on the Manchester United-Tottenham game on the end screen after this video. So thank you for watching. Remember to give this video a like if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to the channel and hit the bell for more videos like this.
Now Ronaldo.